Welcome to the numerology and the astrology. This one is for June 22nd, 2021. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 15. And if you add the 1 and the 5 together, you get the number 6. The number 6 is called the Hermit number. It's the number of introspection, self-awareness, spirituality, the tools of spirituality, such as Christianity, all the spiritual books, all the philosophies that are related to consciousness. And those tools require us to be self-reflective and to go inside. So the number 6 reminds us that none of us can run forever. Everyone needs a chance to stop and regroup. The number 6 is just that type of movement, stopping. Perhaps take a day for yourself. Read a book, meditate, contemplate those things that need healing and transformation. We can help others more if we learn to help heal ourselves first. When we love ourselves enough to take the time to heal and grow, then we learn compassion that can help manifest objective perception for others. If we are in the mud, it is difficult to help others get out of the mud. If we have learned to get out of the mud, we can help direct others how to get out of that same trap. The astrology today. Mercury finally turns around and shifts out of the retrograde. Well, this particular retrograde was a doozy. We will all be glad when this cycle is over, but it may take a few weeks to feel completely free of its influence. At least we are at the end of these upsets in communication and technology for the moment. Things will begin to turn around. The answers we have been seeking will begin to arrive because it finally feels as if things are clearing. Things that seem so stuck may begin to move over the next few weeks. While this one piece is sorting itself out, don't make super important decisions either. There will be a better day with better timing later. The Sun and Jupiter will trine tomorrow, and that will help in this energy shift. Don't try to be perfect in communication because words are limited in this dimension. Let your enthusiasm lead the way forward. Today, the moon leaves passionate Scorpio and goes into the truthful and adventurous sign of Sagittarius. That opens doors for us to get out and get on the road for a vacation or a short trip. My quote for today: moving past those things that used to be so real, what was so important is now not a big deal. Other things in life have taken front and center stage. Perhaps wisdom comes from old age. Try as we might, those things from the past have been released and now ask to be recast. Energy changes form as the needs are exposed. It knows what is required and how to transpose those things that have lived beyond their time. Even the best of things can get covered in grime. These shifts of energy can be huge. This world feels like it's in a centrifuge. But this change is coming, and it is very real. Nature requires mankind to create a new deal. Laws that will take her past all the pain. Promises that mankind will finally abstain from all the suffering upon her waters and ways. An agreement to change forever and always. And my blog for today. Nature is showing her discontent with our choices and actions, and we should be afraid. Things are happening all around, and the global uncertainty is growing. But can we shift? Can we get past all the politics and do something that is wise while not necessarily popular? I do not think the time is quite yet. I wish it were. Clearly, things are going to escalate, and that is causing so much trepidation, and deep undercurrents of fear are continuing to destabilize societies, governments, and countries. This is what is feeding this rage that infects so many. Anger is a secondary emotion rather than a primary one. The primary emotion is often hurt. That is not socially acceptable in our society, so it turns into anger because anger feels more powerful than hurt. I believe that addressing the hurt is very important. Understanding that we are hurt and where that hurt comes from, even more essential. We are deeply hurt by the complicated actions in our world and the confusion it has caused. We feel hopeless to know if or when there will ever be a change. This is at the core fueling this reactivity and rage we keep seeing manifested externally. I think things can turn around if we can really speak from the places that we are suffering, not in a blaming way, but in a way that says we are not okay with this. We are not happy that our world is falling apart. We are afraid that it will only get worse. People are enraged, but governments simply try to control and contain those with anger. Wailing is a feeling that touches hearts and souls. It causes immediate responses when heard. The problem is that so much is being kept inside. There is so much that we are afraid to show. The first step is to recognize it in ourselves, then to share it in constructive ways that ignite lasting change. For too long, we have allowed those suffering to continue in pain. For too long, we have turned a blind eye. For too long, we have been compliant. For too long, we have not done what is needed or what was being asked of us. Thanks, everyone.